Since there will be a significant increase in the population of Chatham County in the future, what plans will you recommend for the growth in the county schools? And I'll begin with Mia Munn, who brought this up initially.
So Chatham Park will affect the schools, but potentially the mega site in Siler City might actually affect our school system sooner. If we get an automotive plant with thousands of new jobs, that will bring in students and affect the schools in the western part of the county. So and we've already got an issue with Northwood being beyond capacity. So there are facilities issues and older buildings, as Gary addressed, that we need to look at. We've got to be proactive. We need to decide what our priorities are. My priorities in terms of siting schools are short bus rides, keeping neighborhoods together, a safe location, and I had a couple other ones. But we need to specify what our priorities are so that we can be proactive and not react when the growth happens.
Thank you. Angela Millsap.
I agree with Mia. We absolutely have to be forward thinkers. We have to research our data. We have to know what our schools our present schools can do and how much more that they can take on. But we absolutely have to look at our aging schools. We have school buildings that are 30, 40, 50 years old that we need to address as well. So growth is not only going to be new people coming in, but it's how we deal with our existing buildings and communities. And I agree, we want to keep those communities intact, but sometimes a more centrally located school is a better use of your funds, your resources, and also gives more opportunity to your students.
Thank you.
Very important that we create a vision of what our schools will look like in the future. We don't want to make the mistakes of Wake County and some of the others where as soon as they built schools they were at capacity. We really need to plan ahead, and that involves collaborating with developers in the sense of having them have responsibility for the growth they're bringing, but it also means working closely with our county commissioners, working closely with planners, and most of all listening to parents in the community about what works best for their kids. We need to think about infrastructure for sure. We need to think about transportation. We need to think about the viability of the sites. We need to think about also maintaining a sense of community. We need to find out what will be the best distribution of resources. So there are a lot of complexities in weighing out these issues for the schools. So I am very interested in seeing that our schools respond well to population growth, while at the same time paying attention to rural character. We know that so often in countries, the capital city will pull resources, so we need to respect rural integrity and also respond to population growth at the same time. So I want to think about all those things in the big picture.
Gary.
Really tough question, and anytime you talk about moving a population, redistricting, reconfiguration, population boom, you have to do your legwork ahead of time. I hope we've done some of our legwork already. We've hired a real forward-thinking superintendent, Dr. Jordan, and I really feel that he is on the cusp of things right now of trying to figure out what Chatham Park will do, what the mega site will do for our school population. We're in communications with ORED, which is, they do as far as projections of school populations. Sometimes it's really difficult, but they do a really, really good job of telling us where our schools are going to be. We just have to make sure that our schools are there to meet that need.
Thank you. Dale Turner.
Right. Well, some years ago, we had some similar problem when Briar Chapel came in, and we thought that we were going to get this large growth of 42,000 people, and we were concerned about schools then. Then as now, nobody asked the Board of Education to the table. So we don't generate revenue. However, we do have the authority to decide where schools go. So I'm looking at the fact that since the commissioners by law are in charge of facilities, whenever we do decide, whenever Chatham Park comes to us and tells us, look, we have this many children of this age and we need an elementary school or a middle school or a high school, they will communicate that to the commissioners, and the commissioners will communicate it to us, and we will decide where those schools will go. And to accommodate the growth, I would like to see our older facilities renovated, because a lot of them are very old buildings. Again, it's not something that the school board can do. We don't generate revenue. We have to wait until the state and the commissioners give us money, and that, by law, is their responsibility.
Thank you.